So after the historic and successful landing on the lunar South Pole by Chandrayaan 3, India is well and truly on the moon. But the most difficult part of that journey to the moon is over. All eyes are now on what happens next. The lander, Vikram, and the rover, Pragyan, they will now carry out a series of scientific experiments which would be crucial to understand our cosmic neighbor, the moon, and yes, indeed, the larger universe beyond. The lander, Vikram, is carrying out 4 experiments on board. First up is the Rambha, or the radio anatomy of moon-bound hypersensitive ionosphere and atmosphere. Put simply, it would measure the properties of charged particles like electrons and ions, as well as their density in plasma, which is of course the 4th state of matter. The second Vikram payload is Chandra's surface thermophysical experiment, or CHASTE. It will study the thermal properties of the lunar surface near the polar region. It will also attempt to quantify how much heat the surface of the moon can actually conduct. The third payload is called Instrument for Lunar Seismic Activity, ILSA. It's going to measure seismic activity around the landing site. Remember, moonquakes, they're not unusual. The Earth's gravitational pull causes the release of pressure that sends out energy in the form of quakes on the moon, cracking its crust. Also, there is the 4th payload, which is the Laser Retroreflector Array, LRA, which is from the American Space Agency, NASA. It's a passive experiment. It's going to be carrying out laser ranging studies. In simple words, it will help us determine more accurately the distance between the Earth and the moon. Then there is the rover Pragyan, which is carrying out 2 payloads. First is the laser-induced breakdown spectroscope, the LIBS. Now that's going to study the chemical and the mineral composition and their abundance on the moon's surface. The second payload on the rover Pragyan is the alpha particle X-ray spectrometer, the APXS, which will detect and also study the major elements on the surface of the moon, like aluminium, like calcium, iron, silica, sodium, magnesium, among several others. So amidst all this, there is this renewed interest in the moon's south pole. This is because the lunar south pole has several deep craters that remain in permanent darkness. But there is a high likelihood that these craters could have traces of water and ice. Remember, Chandrayaan 1 discovered water and hydroxyl molecules, and this was in the moon's thin atmosphere. Also, they were present on the lunar surface. Another payload is called Mini-SAR, which had detected deposits of water ice in the permanently shadowed regions, and this in the South Pole. Subsequently, Chandrayaan 2 mapped water features across the moon for the first time ever. So all eyes are clearly now on the ISRO team. They will study, they will analyze the outcome of these experiments over the course of the next few months. And not just India, the entire scientific community would be keenly waiting for the results.